writing. Hype happy hour, talking about life, so you might feel empowered. Hype happy hour, tornado on the mic with a guest giving power. Hype happy hour, tools and reviews provide life tapping power. Hype happy hour, positive and light with advice, build your tower. Happiness is key, so you gotta bring the smiles out. Inspiration needs a bit of passion to just wild out. Positivity and optimism when we ride out. Enthusiasm and dreams, gotta feed them till your time's out.
Yes, let's freaking go.
I had to mute my mic.
Gosh.
I had a feeling it was gonna echo. I was like, I gotta mute my mic, but I'm here.
Let's freaking go. Listen, Hyped Happy Hour, episode 40. I am your host, Gentle Tornado. I created a company called Live Hyped. Hyped is an acronym that stands for happiness, inspiration, positivity, enthusiasm, and dreams. And if you look down the bottom left, it's an H with a heartbeat in the middle because we never know how many heartbeats we got. So here at Hyped, we are committed to living every single day to our fullest. Today on episode 40, I am joined with the VeeFriend GOAT, a fucking humble person, a hardworking person, a kind person, sarcastic dude. Corso, how are you?
I'm great, man. Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Absolutely, dude. I had to bring you on. I mean, you literally fucking goat, like, of VeeFriends. Like, there was no choice not to. So we started off with what we're grateful for today. So what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for my family right now. I was very sick over the weekend. I was literally falling, like I was dizzy. And like in the middle of the night, I fell a couple times. My brother was like, "Are you all right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Fall again, and he's like, "Oh shit, something's not right. He's not okay." And it was like 3 a.m. He came, my mom came, and they fixed me up. So I'm
That's
fucking
good,
grateful
dude.
for them.
That's awesome. Listen, dude, I think so every day. I think you've been to my Hyped Happy Hour spaces. I do the little 15-minute one a few times. So lately, dude, for the past probably since Christmas, everybody is like health. They're so grateful for health, and I'm grateful for health. I was sick right before Christmas. I was finally okay on Christmas, so I was grateful for that. But like, dude, just being healthy, like this winter, my kids have been hit so hard. It's like every other week they're sick, and then we're all sick.
Yeah,
And so
everybody.
yeah, dude, it's wild right now. So I'm great. And in Vegas, dude, it's normally like 40s is when it's pretty cold, I guess, here. But it's been like in the 30s, like low 30s. We've been having some high 20s, and that's cold for us. So like
Yeah.
for my kids that normally don't experience that, it's pretty intense for them. So yeah, we're fucking riding. We're grateful for health. We're grateful for health. It's probably cold as fuck there. How cold is it there?
It was like it got up to the 60s today. It was pretty nice. A nice little warm front. But
yeah,
it got down to like the teens, maybe almost single digits during last week. Extravaganza.
What a swing.
Yeah.
What a swing.
It doesn't make any sense. Delaware has always been like that too, with weird weather. And we never get snow though. That's like the one thing. Like we'll get all this crazy weather, never any snow.
No snow. That's wild.
We get rain when everybody's getting snow. The temperature just decides to go up. I mean, we're close to the water, so makes sense. It sucks.
Yeah. All right, dude. So how we started off is an origin story. So I want to know, give me the 2 to 5 minute superhero. Who's Corso? Tell me about your childhood. Tell me how you got into Web3. Tell me about your journey to now.
I'll try to make it quick. All right. So growing up, I played a ton of video games. I played soccer as well for 15 years. I played until I was 18. So I'm 21 now. 3 years ago, I stopped my senior year of high school because I just didn't like the high school politics of sports. And so I stopped playing my senior year, which is like, the year everybody wants to play, but I didn't really care. I did door-to-door sales that year until COVID happened. It was fun. I got out of my comfort zone. I was a very shy person when it comes to interacting with random people, and that kind of helped out a little bit because I was knocking on people's doors, not only just and talking to them, trying to set up an appointment with them. So it was for windows and doors. So like we set up an appointment to try to sell windows pretty much. So that
you were door-to-door sales For Windows? You were selling
and
Windows?
doors.
What is your
You
sales
you
pitch?
you
If
bring
someone
me
came to my door and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna sell you some Windows," I'm like, "Yo, all my Windows are
so
cool. We're solid
we
here, brother."
our thing would be like we would try to get you to set up an appointment so then someone else could come out and give you a free price was what it was a thing, but they always like get you getting a free price was them trying to sell it. Um, but so that was like our thing. Like they kind of trained us to see what was wrong with Windows and I guess some of it's probably more exaggerated than others, but like every time I look at Windows now, like I'm always thinking like, yeah, they could probably, that window could be replaced. I guess it's just like it trained my eyes, but yeah, so I did that for like half a year until COVID happened. Um, and I was just straight gaming, in school still. I was in college then, and then I was watching a guy named Chris Conley. He's an NFL player. He's on the Titans right now. He's been on like every team in that division pretty much. Um, but I was watching him. I'm a big fan of him and a friend of his. It's a really cool thing. And he was on this podcast randomly in 2021. That was last year. Yeah, 2021, like around March, early March. He was on a podcast called Club Top Shot, and they taught him about Top Shot, NBA Top Shot, and they taught him about CryptoPunks. And so that was like where I learned about NFTs. And so I got into Top Shot a little bit. I was never a basketball fan. So like it was cool to me. I was like, maybe I like it a little bit. It's cool. Um, I did that a little bit. And I always followed Gary, but I never binge watched Gary, which was um, just something like I never did. I never really binge watch anything. Um, and so one day I was just on Instagram and I saw he had Instagram stories, and I never did Instagram stories. I never checked them, but I was bored, so I was just
Yeah.
checking Instagram stories. And I saw he had a Discord server. It's like, all right, I've been on Discord for too long. I'm gonna join
Yeah.
it. Didn't know what it was for. I was shilling my Twitch stream because I did Twitch streaming. I try to still from time to time, but um, more for fun now. I try to grind it out back then, but so I was shilling it in there, and then it was like a Saturday it was like a Saturday morning, and Zane, who used to be like the
Yeah.
D guy, he was saying like he said something in general chat about them looking for mods. So I messaged him. He messaged back right away. Can you meet me in like 30 minutes? Like, sure. It's like 10 a.m. Hop on a call with him. I become a volunteer mod right there. I chat with him for like 30 minutes. Volunteer mod. It's like cool.
Wild.
I don't know what this is, but
Yeah.
awesome. Uh,
Let's go.
and so people who came mod after me was like Post for Roan, who's legend on Twitter.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was like my beginning of VeeFriends. It's like I just joined, chilling my Twitch and the intros channel, and
Wild.
then I became a mod.
Dude, that's wild.
It was
So
like the timing was just weird.
yeah, so you were volunteering, so you were not paid at the start.
Correct.
And then how long, like what was, tell us about like what happened after that?
Yeah, so I was volunteering for, I volunteered until August, but in the before Mint, I knew nothing about the project. After the Mint was delayed was when I was like, all right, I should probably learn about what this is. So as a moderator, I did my job and learned. I ran
Your
on the
due
website,
diligence.
I
Yeah.
was reading the website like anyone else, and was just learning everything. I had no idea what a crypto wallet was. I set one up. Like I mod scene back then, some people knew what they were doing. Everybody else was learning. And I learned that stuff. Mint's coming. People were asking me questions like I don't know the answer at first. And then there was this server with a bunch of there were some people who knew crypto. His name was Iron Blacksmith. His name is Tim. He's a great guy. I work with him now at VeeFriends. But he was just in there helping people out. Josh Nepper was. There was a few other people. Crystal. They were helping people, fix gas issues and stuff. And I had no idea what gas was. So I was in there. I
Yeah.
was learning. There, I was learning from them, and I was able to help people. Uh, I was just grinding. Once I knew what I was doing, I was sitting in there all day answering questions for people, helping people out, like when Mints was happening. And then May 24th rolls around, and Gary's doing another big giveaway day. And he's just giving away Series 1s. And then my name gets announced for the gift goat. And like all the mods were in the mod chat, and we were like, everyone was flipping out. Like it was the craziest moment of my life. Like after that night, after all the mods left the voice chat, I went upstairs. My brother and sister were outside, just sitting with the heater on. I don't know if the heater was on because it was probably warm out. But like I went out there, I was like, you guys don't even understand what just happened. Like, let me try to explain it. And they probably thought I was crazy. They're like, what is he talking about? Like this NFT bullshit. So I got that from Gary, and I was like, all right, I'm continuing my grind, and I'm just like, whether it was a reward because he saw what I was doing or it was just random luck, I was running with it. And so I grinded. I was just as active as I possibly could because I wasn't like I was in school, but it was online, so I wasn't in school.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
joke. Yeah.
Yeah, so I literally just grinded, and August came around. I was going to be a head mod paid position, and then it changed to a Discord manager when Zane wanted to try something else with a different company. And so I became the Discord manager then, and the rest is history.
Wow, dude. So is that your official title now, or are you something else now?
Yeah, so I was part-time then. I think in June is when June this year, I officially became full-time. And so I'm full-time community success lead. So that entails like all customer support. I still like manage the whole Discord. And that's something that I'm trying to focus on more recently. But like all customer support, like through email and stuff is like one of those things. Like that's like my main job.
Yeah, that's fucking sick.
So it's
So
evolved.
do you love it?
I do. Like customer support isn't ever fun, but it's great to be able to help people in that kind of way.
Yeah.
Where, it's not necessarily front facing, but it's like you're still interacting with people and you're doing the important part. So like that's the
Yeah.
way I look at it.
All right. So how many VeeFriends Series 1s do you have now? Or do you only have the gift goat?
Series 1s. So someone else before I won the gift goat gifted me a core legendary lemur that he minted because he was like, dude, I can't believe I forgot that in the story. He his name is Alex, and he recognized my hard work, and he said like, which one do you have? I was like, I can't afford one. Are you joking? It's just expensive.
College kid.
Yeah, what the fuck? And he, when I was away, he was like, and like I didn't tell him anything I wanted. He's just like, I got you this one because you're legendary, and it's legendary lemur, and like. So that's my favorite character. So now I have 3 Series 1s. I have 2 core legendary lemurs. I was able to pick one up. And then I have the gift goat still. So I have 3 Series 1s, but 2 characters.
How many Series 2?
Series 2 is at like 6 or 7. I'm holding one for my dad. I told him he wanted to buy one. I was like, Shiv, who's a great person in the VeeFriends community, he gifted me a Series 2. So I told my dad, I asked him, I just randomly came up to him because he was talking about he wanted to buy one at one point. I came up to him, I was like, do you like this one? He's like, yeah, it looks pretty cool. I was like, all right, it's yours. And so I'm just keeping it in my wallet because I don't want, he has a wallet. He's minted before. I had him mint an NFT, but I wanted to keep it in my wallet, my ledger, just to keep it safe.
That's awesome. So do you trade it all, or are you just a holder, or?
Not VeeFriends. I always buy VeeFriends stuff at the wrong time. It's just I've been very notorious at that. So I try not like, I try not to. I would never trade VeeFriends anyways because it feels weird. But I used to like, try to mint like a bunch of projects back when everybody was doing it in 2021 summer. So I was always trying to do mints, and I had my ups, had my downs. I never got my wallet wiped, knock on wood. I'm always trying to be smart with that. Back then I don't know how it didn't happen, but
same with me. Yeah, I was totally not safe. I was fucking minting everything.
Nobody was. I don't think anybody was, and like everybody was pretty much fine. Like it was crazy how that worked. Like there's a lot of people who definitely could have gotten their wallets drained, and it just didn't happen. So
Yeah,
like
I bought
everybody
my
was just careless.
so me and my dad bought so I have a V friend that I minted, and then I was like January, it was January this year. I was like, Dad, like you need a V friend. Like let's fucking buy a V friend together. And because like in December, November or something of 2021, I think I probably could have sold the peak. I think it was worth like 100,000. My V friend that I minted. So I was like,
Jeez.
dude, Dad, like we gotta buy one. I was like, you need to get in this. Like he knew I was already heavily involved in NFTs, and so we bought one.
Oh
We
no.
bought one for 65K. We split it, and obviously it's absolutely capitulated, but that's okay. So my goal right now is I'm flipping to buy another VF1 to give him that one, to give him like
He had
full
his own.
ownership of like, hey, this is yours. Like, don't even worry about it. And so that's my goal right now. I got a pretty big play right now on 10K TF, so I'm
That's
fired up about
awesome.
that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
football's
so I'm
hard
hoping.
now.
Oh yeah, it's hard, and but there's definitely a lot of money to be made. So like if you're really tactical, like unfortunately I don't really have time because I'm doing so much content, but I have like friends that have time. So like they're giving me the alpha. They're like, hey, do this, and it's like whatever. I'm playing with money I can fucking lose anyway. So it's like, yeah, we'll
Sure.
see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
So,
playing around with it.
I love that. So how much are you like? Who do you work with the most on the team? Like, do you have a right hand man or someone that you're heavily involved with, or like do
Yeah,
you
there's
talk to Andy a lot? Or
Andy not as much. But my right hand, I kind of have like two. So Daniel, he's the head of community, I think is his role.
yeah,
Hopefully I'm not wrong. But he like I have dailies with him. But also Tim, he's a community success associate. Um, he's great. Like he's like a year or two younger than me. So like we're kind of just like, we're on like we have like a bond, like a brotherly bond almost. So it's cool to have that because we had it before either of us got employed. So it was cool that like we were both on the team now and now we're just killing it.
no, that's fucking awesome. That's fucking awesome. All right, dude. So what we do is we get into hyped word by word, and so we bridge the gap between personal life, so extraordinary people that I think are incredible in the space, and personal life, and we merge that shit. So we started off with happiness, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna read you my favorite definition of success, and it's by Ralph Waldo Emerson. So it's success: to laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate the beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition, to know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded.
Fucking beautiful.
Let's go. What's your favorite part?
I think the last part is just like knowing that you fucking did it.
Yeah.
It's like you
Someone's
succeeded.
life breathe
Like
easier. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like, I think because like make it like that's like I feel like that's a lot of people's goals, whether they know it, is like trying to make it easier for other people, like whether it's family or friends. Like I think everybody has a moment where they are actively doing that. Um, it's just like a kind of like a thing that you don't realize until you think about it.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think like in Web3, like this community is like at least 90% of everybody here like really wants to help other people. Like
Yeah,
every time I'm on a space, I'm like, yo, you guys ever need anything, fucking DM me. Like, let's like build together because there's so much knowledge in this space. Like, there's just so much information that you can gather for free. And it's like, why not want to build each other up? Like, it's just, it's such like an incredible thing, to be honest.
yeah. Everybody has like so much knowledge. Like I said, like at the beginning of VeeFriends, like Tim, he was just some crypto genius. I think he was like 17 at the time, and like he just knew everything, and like he didn't have to hop on a call and share his knowledge and try to help people out. He shared it with people. Those people shared it, and it just kept being shared. It's like a domino effect.
Yeah, no, that's fucking awesome. Because like yeah, just like the domino effect. Because like if you told me something, I would go tell someone to help them out. So like that's absolutely epic. Listen, the first question under happiness is what makes you happy every single day.
Every day, it's a hard question for me. But I think it's looking forward to what's to come from what I've done. Um, because like every working day for me is like another day where I'm getting closer to a goal that I don't even know. Like I don't even have like a goal set in mind. Like what's my end goal? Like I don't even have that right now. But I know each day I work hard. I try to work as hard as I can every day, and every day, like even weekends when I'm not out, like I don't have plans. Like I'm trying to work, and so like thinking of the future of what am I working towards, which right now is just to develop myself, help VeeFriends, help anyone who needs help within the VeeFriends ecosystem. Like that's kind of, I guess, what makes me happy right now is knowing that I'm helping people, um, whether directly or indirectly.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. I mean, do you have you written down any kind of big goals for yourself or
I never have. I never, even when I was younger, like I never really had like something like a lot of times when I guess like I had like more of like dreamy goals, like become a professional soccer player when I was playing soccer. I was never at that level, but um, I at one point I was on a team with people who were definitely a lot better. Um, and so those aspirations get bigger. Like, oh, I'm playing with these guys. Like I'm one step closer. But besides like that kind of goal, like I never really had like a goal in mind of like I want to do this when like this is what I want to do. I never had that. I always like was scrambling to find something because in school you have you got to have this in mind. You got to, and
yeah.
then when you're going to college you got to get a major or else you're just wasting money at that point because you go there for
Yeah.
2 years, you're still undecided, you're not taking any of the classes you need. Um,
Yeah.
and so I've never really like had like a exact thing in mind. I don't know. It's just, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you enjoy college or no?
I think the one thing I enjoyed was just the interaction with people. Um, certain classes were interesting, but at the same time, it was just like my favorite part about it, like I said, was just interacting with people. And so
Mhm.
like that's the one thing I miss right now because I'm not going to college. I took a year off to go full time. Um, and like that's like probably the main thing I miss. That's the only thing I really miss is just interacting with people on a day-to-day basis, like face to face. Because right now, working remotely, that's the only like bad thing about working remotely is you don't physically see people every day, um,
Yeah.
that you work with at least. Um, or like just classmates or something like that. So
No,
yeah,
yeah,
I
that's
find the balance with friends I've met in the space, but it's never the same online than it is in person.
yeah, I think like that's probably why like the events where you get to meet up with the people that you spend obviously a lot of time with on let's say Twitter and Discord like
Yeah,
are so meaningful because I think a lot of people are working remote. Like I think that's a very, very common thing. And
more
so
recently, yeah,
so the IRL events are just like amplified. It's like 10x because yeah, it's just like this crazy energy, right? You think about a moment or a Twitter space or something that you were in where it's just like, yeah, like it's just wild. Like I was in Ian's space, it was probably like 2 weeks ago, and Andy like rolled in and he was just kind of like giving us flowers. He was like, yo, like tornado, like I see what you're doing. I'm like, yo, like I'm gonna fucking give you the biggest hug next time I see you, motherfucker. And like that's gonna mean like so much more now that we had that connection, right? It's like I'm
yeah,
not gonna forget that. And so it's like those are the types of moments that I think amplify the IRL events.
100%. I mean, that's why I went to Miami. I was just like, I really wanted to see the community.
Mhm.
When Jeremy and Carly and Sal were talking about how dope it was going to be, like for their event, I was like, all right, like I gotta go. And then the V Friends event that I went to, the drawing thing was very fun, as well because you got to
Oh,
see
the
everybody's
create your
creative.
character?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a good one. I wish I had it with me. It's at my sister's in Florida still because I didn't have a folder to bring it back, and that's what I forgot to do when I was just there. So fuck. But it was I drew a urinal, and inside the urinal it said "Pee with Gary V." It was like genius. It was a play on T with Gary V. Uh, it was genius. and yeah, I forgot it at my sister's again.
It was pretty small event, right? Like there wasn't that many people there.
Yeah, it was less than 100, or maybe around that. I'm not good with numbers when it comes to amount of people, but it was perfect. Like it was like a perfect size. It wasn't like overcrowded or anything. It was just right amount of people, great people, of course. So
That's awesome. That's
yeah,
super fucking cool.
I'm
Yeah,
glad it
that'd be
wasn't
sick.
extremely crowded because then it's like
Yeah,
so chaotic and it's
yeah,
just
no, that's
perfect.
cool. Like much more exclusive. Did you go to the Shack event in
No, I did not. I yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't go. There was just a lot of thoughts in my head. I was like, yeah, it's cool. And then it's like traveling alone to a place I've never been. Like for me, traveling alone to Minneapolis was the first time I ever traveled alone for VCon. And
Yeah.
that was like I was like, it's fucking VCon, I'm going. But
Yeah.
like for places I haven't been, where it's more weird to me. Uh, so like that was part of it. But like me going to Florida is very easy because my sister lives there. I've been to Florida so many times in my life. I can't count it on two hands. It's like probably over 20. Because it's just family vacations and it's just
Yeah.
trips because my sister lives there, helping her move. So Florida is like a second home for me. So it's very easy to travel there for me. So like yeah,
And
traveling to Georgia, I don't know, it wasn't that was like one of those places I was just like I've never been there, no idea what I'm doing, and I just didn't have the brain capacity to plan it out.
what about New York? When you went to New York, was that hard, or how close is Delaware to New York?
So I take a train, it's like a 3-hour train ride. It was hard the first time. I've only trained there twice, but um, the first time it was new. The train ride was peaceful. Like you just sit there and go on Twitter or
Yeah.
every train stop that we stopped at, I was opening up Pokemon Go. I was like, all right, is there any gyms? Like, because I still play it. But no, it was a lot of fun traveling to New York because it's another place I'd been to a lot. Now I've never walked the streets alone, so that was interesting. I did walk down one wrong street once during the night, and I was scared shitless at one point.
Yeah. Yeah.
But lesson learned: stick to the GPS instead of taking those
Yeah.
shortcuts. And yeah, it was a lot of fun though. Like traveling alone is cool. It's it has its ups and downs because you don't have you don't have someone to rely on to like, do you know where we're going? Like
Yeah.
it's you, unless you meet up with someone. It's like, all right, am I going to the right spot? Where do I need to be? Is this the right direction? Because in New York too, like the GPSs were so messed up. Like you think you're going the right way, it's like, nope, yeah, turn around. So
Yeah.
that was a learning curve, but then I just learned how to read the streets, and that was all right.
It was yeah, so going to New York was intense for me. Like it was fine. Like I've traveled alone so many times, but like I got there, right? And I took a red eye, and so I had like a whale breakfast for a project I was involved in. And so I was like, I got to be at this breakfast. So I go to get a fucking Uber, and I do like the Uber app, and it's like, you have to have a fucking mask. And I'm like, dude, I don't have a fucking mask. I haven't worn a mask in I didn't even know we were still doing masks.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I don't have a mask. So like there's Uber people there, and I'm like, yo, like, do I need a mask? And they're all like, yeah, like they're like, don't really speak English. And so I'm like, oh, I'm literally fucked. Like, I don't even know what to do. The taxi line, there's like 50 people in the taxi line. I'm like, literally, I don't know what the fuck to do. Some random dude comes up. He's like, hey, I'll take you. I was like, dude, I don't have a fucking mask. Like, I don't have cash. I have a card. I'll fucking pay you. And it's like, we had this like, dude, super shady deal. Like he took me, I'm like, I don't fucking know this guy's gonna kill me. Whatever. I got to get to this breakfast. Like, so he ride. It was like an hour drive. That was wild. But yeah, New York is pretty intense at night for sure. But I'm from Vegas, so like it's pretty intense here at night as well.
yeah,
I would definitely, I think, a little bit safer here. But yeah, I did ride the subway one time at like 2 a.m. With my boy Josh, and that was pretty wild experience. That was a pretty fucking. I'll probably, yeah, I would never ride the subway by myself that late, but it was pretty
yeah.
fun with someone else.
I took the walk, the 40-minute walk home instead of the subway. It was like 2 or 3 a.m. I was like, I'll do the walk, and I walk with the person. I was like, I'm not doing that. I've never done the subway. I was like, the first time I'm doing it is not at 3 fucking a.m. I'm not doing it.
Dude, you didn't do the subway at all?
No, I never had to. Like
Oh,
everything, like the place I stayed at was like right kind of in the middle of everything. It's definitely more expensive, but yeah, like I didn't have to like, and I enjoy walking. It's something
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed doing. So like I'll wake up earlier so I can walk the hour, and see everything because it's cool.
Yeah.
New York's like a cool place to sightsee, especially during the holidays, which I was hoping to go, but I'm probably not going to. A little
Yeah.
late for that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree for sure. I think you can get anywhere, but the subway was a fun experience, dude. I think you should do it
Oh
next
yeah,
time just
yeah. I
for
definitely will
one
do it at
time.
some point. Yeah, of course. Like at some point, I'm gonna do it. I gotta be with someone who knows what they're doing, but because there's no way
That's
I'm going with someone who's never done it either. Like that would just be a. I guess if it's
it's
the right person.
intimidating. Yeah, it's intimidating for sure, dude. It was fucking intense. Like, well, once you figure it out, it's super easy. But like at first, you're just like, yo, there's
It was just like the
17 different
train. I
lines.
didn't know where
I
to
was talking
go.
to, yeah, talking to my friend that's from New York, and he's like, yo, just take the B. Make sure you're always by the B line. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is the B line, bro? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And
And then once
so,
you get
anyways,
there,
it's fun.
yeah.
Yeah, it's way worse when you get there. So, okay, the second question is, what is the happiest moment of your life?
Happiest moment of my life. Huh. That's a hard one. The happiest moment of my life. Huh. You stumped me there. Because there are a few moments that come to mind.
Yeah, it can be a few of them.
Yeah, it's gotta be one. Do you have one? While I think, while I pick one.
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, when my kids were born, but I mean, that's the cop out. I think
That's
like
a easy answer.
probably when I got married, probably the happiest moment of my life. This is pretty funny. Is like when I first saw my wife. So we were in high school. I was a senior. No, maybe I was a junior. And she walked into our classroom. I'd never seen her. She was a year younger, and I was sitting next to my best friend. And she walked in the classroom. I literally leaned over to him and I was like, "I'm gonna marry that chick." I probably said like that girl. I probably didn't say chick. I said I'm gonna marry that girl. And anyways, we weren't together in high school. Then we reconnected after. So that was probably the
That's
happiest moment of my
crazy.
life because like what's happened now, you know what I mean? And now I have 3 kids and fucking we're riding and
Yeah.
that was probably it for sure.
Yeah, I can think of two. Probably when I got my second dog, who he passed away before the other one, the older
Oh,
one. But when we got him, and like just like being able to play with two dogs, and they were so loving, and they were huskies, so they would howl all the time, and it was just
yeah.
like it was really cool. And so like probably just like moments with the younger one, Messi, was probably the
Nice.
some of the happiest moments just because like walking with him, he was yeah, I have a good one. Like we, it's maybe not the happy it's definitely like it was the most interesting. I think it was a happy moment because we found him, but he ran away once the gate was left open, or no,
Yeah.
which time one of these times he somehow got out. He did it multiple times, and it was right after school, and so I'm chasing after him, and it either rained just a little bit before, or it just got, or it was drizzling while it was happening. I was sprinting the fastest I've ever, like Usain Bolt speeds. I was running
Yeah.
down the street or running down the sidewalk, and he was standing on the sidewalk. He was being a good dog. And he cuts, and then he hears another dog barking, so he goes up to the fence. And I'm like, I'm getting this fucker, and I jumped, I lunged, and I grabbed him. And I was wearing khaki pants; they were full of mud, and I was carrying him home like a champion. And and I don't know why he always ran. Like even the other one did too. And like I hope everybody knows, like we treat him with the utmost love. It's like a
Of course.
husky thing, is what we were told. Is like they just love running, and whenever they see a breakaway, they're going. And they always like even sometimes like after a little bit of running, like he'll just come to you. He's like, oh, I thought we were playing, so something like that. But like grabbing him there, that was a good moment in life. And the other one like is a cop out, but it's like VCon. It was just such a unique moment for me.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, but for me, it was definitely a really like it was a realizing moment where it's like shit's actually real. Like you know,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, dude. Like I mean, VCon was fucking wild for me for sure too. Like I literally cried when I fucking met Gary. I was like, bro, this guy has literally changed my fucking life. Like changed my whole life since I've been listening to him, and so that was wild. And then he knew who I was. I was just like, yo, this is fucking crazy. That was pretty wild moment. Yeah. So VCon 2023 is gonna be absolutely insane because you already know NATO's fucking opening up at least one day with We're Riding. So I might have to run up on stage. Like there could be a security guard that
Security
tackles
guard
me. I don't know, man. I could see like a security guard tackling me and then the whole community just running to save me. So I don't know. You know, it's gonna be wild. I think we're gonna do a live hyped happy hour. Like that could be fucking insane. There's gonna be all kinds of stuff. It's gonna be an absolute dream come true. I've already been in touch with K Money. We're gonna shoot so much content. It's gonna get fucking crazy. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
2023 is gonna be absolutely wild. So we are riding.
Right around the corner.
It's wild, yeah, dude. Are you a part of any other communities? Because like my last question is like, what are some communities that you're a part of that make you happy within Web3? So do you have any other NFT projects that you're involved in that you hold or?
Honestly, no. Like I'm not really involved with any other project recently. Like I have other NFTs, of course. I'm not like I have a lot of different NFTs. But the only project that I've really loved the community in, and it's not hate towards any other community, but it's VeeFriends, and that's because I'm probably involved with it a little more than the next person. But I never really like delved into a community enough to even develop like a wow, this community is fucking amazing. Like I've noticed good things on this community or that community, but I was never indulged into it where I could say that I love it because I'm a part of it.
Yeah. What are some NFTs that you hold? What's the highest value NFT you hold besides VeeFriends?
I own a Bored Ape. That would be the biggest one I own.
Whoa, hey, take it easy. Take it easy.
You asked. I didn't want,
No, I already knew. We talked about it in NYC, but I set you up for that
Oh,
one.
right, we
But,
did.
yeah,
Yeah.
when you told me, I couldn't believe it.
When
I
we
was
were
like,
playing
holy
Uno.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was absolutely wild. Do you have like other side and shit too, or just the ape right now?
Yeah, so I had the ape from since late May last year or maybe early June, something like that. So I've had it. I've gotten airdropped everything, so I haven't sold any of that. I've sold some ape coin, of course, at the wrong times, of course. That's just what I never buy or sell anything at the right time. Like I bought 2 gutter cats like in the summer last year for like 2 ETH each. Floor goes down to like less than 1. I'm like, fuck, what did I do? And then eventually, it went back up.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of patience, but like I never buy anything at the right time. So selling is the same thing with me. I'm getting a little better, but like I never sold anything at the right time either.
I mean, you didn't sell your ape at 500,000. Like that's tough.
Thanks for reminding me. Yeah.
I just like listen. I think if VeeFriends went to $500,000 last year, your boy Tornado was selling. Like I think that was the price.
I would have hated to, but I definitely probably would have sold my lemur. I would have I would keep the goat through anything because it was gifted to me. Like I mean, both were gifted to me, but it's the bigger one. So
yeah, for sure. I think like one of my goals was to get a gift goat. My best friend is going to buy a gift goat, and I think he's going to buy it pretty soon. Actually, they're not very high right now. They're like 25. I think there's some that are
pretty
like
high.
25. Yeah, it's pretty high, but compared to what they were like
Yeah.
fucking 55 or some shit like that. So
Yeah.
I mean, at the peak, there was probably one that sold for 100 at least. I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know
at
the
the
highest,
peak.
but there's definitely some big ones, big sales.
Let's fucking go, dude. Let's fucking go. So we're going into inspiration.
Go.
We're riding. Can't stop, won't stop. Okay, listen, this is a good question. What is one lesson in your life that you've had to learn the hard way?
Honestly, going back to door-to-door sales, like having a door shut in your face after someone yells at you, really teaches you. Really teaches you like not everybody cares, and like you're not gonna like you're never gonna hear yes every time. Like that, like with that job, like I learned so much, and I think like the main thing is like you're gonna be told no so many times, and as long as you have the dedication and the persistence to keep going, like you're gonna get your yes. And that was something that I learned with it, especially at the beginning, because I would mess up my script, like because you memorize a script, I'd mess it up, and they'd be like, "No, thank you." I'm like, "Fuck, I messed up," and so like I feel like that was probably like I learned so much from that job. and like I developed so much with just like being able to talk to random people. It's declined a little bit, but it's always in the works.
No. It's an incredible thing that you said that, because falling in love with the nose is the best thing I ever learned about sales. And I think that's an important lesson in life too, because not everybody's going to say yes to you. And the the fact that you can be grateful for the opportunity makes you fall in love with every single time, even if it's a no, even if it's the door being slammed in your face. And I think that is like so undervalued, because even like, right, like just say for example this podcast, right, I've DM'd hundreds of people so many times, right? And so like high level people, and I've had to DM them 30 times, right? I'm just like
Hmm.
not like overbearing, but just genuine DMs, and it's like then they say yes, right? It takes
Yeah,
like and so it's like you just got to keep going, and falling in love with the nose, I think, creates this energy where, like, as far as my sales job goes, like I just get excited about it. Like I don't care if you say
yeah,
no or yes, I'm excited either way. And so people don't know how to like react. Like when you get excited when someone tells you no, they're like, "What is this guy? Is he's like on a crack or something?"
yeah.
Like,
Is
no,
this
dude,
guy
I'm
psycho?
just yeah, I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful out here.
The
So
I
no,
think the best nose is like the nose where you're like, I know I could have made him say yes, and so it just motivates you. Like, all right, like next time that's not happening, and you just
yeah,
learn from that. Those are the best nose, like the nose that you learn from.
100%. And failure is like literally the fucking alpha of life. Like the more you fail, I mean, obviously you have to learn, right? You can
Yeah,
fail 1,000 times. If you don't learn anything, you're gonna keep failing. But if you take what you've failed and then learn from that, then you're better chance to not fail the next time. So I
hundred
actually
percent.
love that. What do you love about Web3 so much that inspires you to do it every day?
I think just seeing everyone still grinding, like no matter what. There's not everybody does it, but you can, anyone could name like a handful of people that are just always grinding, always, doing what they want to do and showing up whenever, wherever, however, they're always there. And I think that, like, just seeing that people still are that in love with the space, like looking at it, how could you not feel the same? Like seeing people just blood, sweat, and tears
Yeah,
killing it. It's just like, how can I say no to continue to be in this space? I think a lot of people who may leave the space or this or that is because they're not with those right people. They don't follow those right people. Like you're one of them. There's so many other people. Like the list could, like I could name so many people, and it's,
yeah,
I think seeing those people is the most important thing, because if you don't see those people on your timeline, like it's kind of like, it's like I don't really want to be on Twitter. You got
yeah.
like there's always those certain people that if you follow them and you see them on your timeline, you want to keep being on Twitter. You want to be like, all right, what's next? And it just keeps you going.
100%. Here's a question for you. I feel like right now the most successful projects are projects with founders that are very, very vocal and very active on Twitter. Do you think going into 2023 we're going to see a lot more from Gary and Andy as far as being
Um,
active?
Gary, I'm sure Gary's always trying to be active. Andy, I think I've seen him say something like, "Hey, I'm going to try my best to be as more active as possible." And I think a lot of projects are learning from that. I think the Bored Ape founders did a great job with how they're doing everything, and that now they went from being forced docs to embracing it. They have a podcast now, and they're killing it there. Like they're kind of like setting the stones. I think Gary was always that founder and always will be. Like right from the beginning, he was active and he was never really not active. Like, of course, he had times where, he just wasn't as active. But I think Gary has always been that founder that was always active. And I'm not trying to discredit Board Ape because I wasn't there in the early stages, but I heard great things about their founders too in the early stages. And I think that goes to show why we are where we are, because there's a lot of other projects that don't do that, and the results may be different, maybe they're the same, but I think that's like a key thing that I've noticed, and not even just the founders but team members, and I think knowing the team members is important too, because you want to know, like, who's behind what you love. I think it's a cool thing to be like, and that's why Web3 is really cool, is because like this is like one of those places where you get to learn who these people are. Like regular companies, they don't go out and join Twitter Spaces and introduce himself to the
Yeah.
community who invested in them or who love them. Like that doesn't really happen outside of Web3. So it's like a
Yeah.
really cool thing to be a part of when it comes to, being a part of an amazing team.
No, yeah, and I think like I like, for example, I had Mario Nafal on, and so he's doing different things in Twitter Spaces, and they're bringing a lot of people over from Clubhouse. Some like really heavy hitters. Like I was on a space with Grant Cardone. I was talking to Grant Cardone. That was fucking wild.
Wild.
Yeah, like fucking crazy. Like followed me back immediately and was like, "Let's fucking go." And I was just like, it was just wild, right? And so
Yeah.
I think like almost that's not my hope because I don't really. I'm not like I don't. I think I care if this happens, but I think it would be really good. Is like I hope that Andy is more active. I hope that Gary's more like involved in the, he was in the bull run in Twitter Spaces, but like maybe a Twitter Spaces with Andy, you, May, and bringing up the community, right? I think like those types of things, maybe like once a month, once every 2 months, like nothing crazy, right? Are so beneficial for the community, like especially in a bear where we're like the community is so hungry.
Yeah.
Like I saw the other day someone tweet if VeeFriends were still a thing, and it's like yeah, like yeah, the VeeFriends community is very strong, and so I mean, I do think that they're going to do something like that. I could see like Andy and them reading the market because I think that's
Yeah.
very very strong sentiment right now in the market.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, it's always something we've wanted to do. It's just not necessarily gets swept under the rug, but it's just more of like a rug's not the right word in Web3. Gets but it gets swept under. It's just more of like
Yeah,
a I don't know, like it never times out right. But it's always been
yeah,
something that I know Andy has expressed. I, I'll definitely be joining them when they happen. I'll definitely be joining them, whether I'm the one hosting it or I'm just there to participate and listen.
yeah,
Regardless, I'll be there. And yeah, I hope that it happens, and I can't wait
yeah. No, that'd be fucking
because
awesome.
it's
I mean,
definitely it's cool for like community members to like. That's one thing I love about my job is like I interact with everybody in the community, and like I think I mean, I guess I never really worked for the community, but like when I've joined other projects just to, like I minted an NFT and being able to interact with those team members is such like an important thing to me at least. So I feel like on the opposite end of that, it's important for me and for
yeah,
anyone else to kind of be that person like on the team that talks to people and talks about the cool things we're working on that we can
yeah.
only talk about so much about, but those kind of things. I think it's a really cool and important thing for any project.
Let me ask you this: have you ever thought? And this is probably a good question for you since you're pretty heavily involved in the Discord. But has it ever been brought up to like in the general chat, like a mod, like a head mod or something like you put the spaces that are going on by the community? Because I think just off the top of my head, I know the GM VeeFriends,
Like
Ian
Sharon
does this
Jeremy's
space. Yeah,
you're
like
saying?
have you guys talked about that at all? Because that could bring more people into the space. It's as far as like that. I mean,
Yeah.
genuinely, like they are kind of there for the VeeFriends community.
Yeah, a lot of times when I join them now, it probably hasn't been like too often that I've done it because I always forget because I always try to join Jeremy spaces because
Yeah.
like sometimes I learn things that I didn't know. It's like, oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I always try to share it when I can in the Discord, but I think like moving forward, like there's definitely like a better way we can do it where like you know I don't know. There's definitely a better way we can do it where they can promote um, their spaces, or we can help promote them in like a proper manner. I think
Yeah.
that's definitely something we'll see for sure.
I think
And maybe even
like a
stuff within the Discord could be cool as well.
yeah, I would say like a proper way, just like you're saying, but like that support level, um, just for any spaces host is massive. And like I think if the
It
community
means a
saw
lot
that,
because
like
it
yeah,
makes them want to do it more because
hundred
they
percent.
know they have that support. Yeah.
100%. No, that'd be huge. That'd be fucking awesome if you guys do that. So I love it. Do you have anybody in your life that's like somebody like an inspirational leader, someone you've looked up throughout your life? Maybe a few people.
Yeah. There was one person, and and so my memory is just shit. So there's definitely someone when I was younger that I looked up to, and I can't think of them. The easy answer is my dad. He did sales, so I followed him a little bit, and now I've broken off. But um, I don't know. I always strive to be successful like he was. I wouldn't say he was like insanely successful, but he was successful in what he did. And that's what matters. And whether he liked what he did or not is for him to tell. But he's definitely like an easy person to say. Like I looked up to him. We're not doing the same career path anymore, so a little unfortunate. But
Yeah.
I think he's an easy one. There was definitely like a celebrity I looked up to, and now I can't think of him. But there was
No, it's
another
totally
person.
fine.
That's the answer.
Is your dad still working, or is he retired, or?
He's on disability right now.
Okay.
He had some back issues. But so he worked for the same company I did door-to-door sales with. So it's kind of funny how that worked. Yeah, so that was cool because he was able to teach me things that other people who did door-to-door sales didn't know about the products
Yeah.
and stuff. So that helped out a lot for sure.
Yeah, dude, you had a lot of tricks in your bag for sure.
I still
That's
do.
sick.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let me back
I
out
mean,
there. I'll sell some VeeFriends to people on the streets.
there is a 99% chance we're doing a skit, and it's gonna be you door-to-door sales at Fuck VCon. So I just get ready for it. I know you're gonna be ready. You don't even
I'm
need to get
ready.
ready. Yeah, you're born ready. I
I
love it.
if you gave me like off stream, like if I had like 30 minutes, I could think of what the script was and fucking sell you windows. Like
Let's go.
or
I
set up
love
the
it. I love
windows,
it.
sorry. I
Yeah,
don't sell them.
you
I'm
just
not the
gotta
closer.
close the appointment, and then
Close the
they'll close the
appointment.
window.
Yeah, though exactly.
I love it. Listen, what was your do you have a favorite inspirational movie?
Um, Probably The Blind Side. I I never really
Oh,
thought of like an inspirational movie, but The Blind Side was definitely cool. Uh, it's not the right word for it, but the Blind Side was definitely like one of those movies that like I don't even watch that much because like that was like the first movie that I got emotional watching. Like not like very emotional, but like you shed tears. Like you can't not shed tears the first time watching that movie. It's a great movie. The story is like insane and really awesome. Um,
yeah.
so probably that one. Aff- Affected me wise, I don't know how much it affected me, but like in the sense of like sports is like where I connected with it. I
Yeah.
never played football, but you know,
Yeah.
I think The Blind Side was definitely like, or like even like The Lone Survivor. I think that could be
Oh, that's a good one.
that movie
Yeah.
was like, and I watched that one. I gotta watch it again. It's such a good movie. Like
Yeah.
the, I if anybody's watched it, you know why I'm picking it. I don't even know if I can really explain it without like disrespecting it. Like you gotta watch it if you haven't. It's basically not is he Marines? Is Special Forces? I think
Probably special forces. Yeah.
sniper who survives like the craziest shit ever. Like you can't even imagine it, and it's based on a true story, so it happened, and
Yeah.
it's a movie of it's the craziest shit. Like I think that would probably be my pick.
Yeah.
See
That's a good
my
movie.
brain fog was it uncovered it. I was like, oh, this movie.
Yeah. No, I love it, and I love the American flag in the background. It's absolutely just fucking
It's
clutch,
mainly
dude.
to cover some shit back there, but it's great. I love America.
Yeah.
So
That's right, baby. Um, Listen, I love it. Let's move into positivity. Oh shit! What the fuck? Sorry, I clicked the wrong button. I hit positivity. So basically on positivity, what we talk about is a positive mindset. And so the basic definition of positive mindset is focusing on the good in any situation. Now that doesn't mean that you're delusional to the world, right? Because the world's a fucked up place right now.
yeah.
Or just bad shit happens all the time. Like that's the motivation I think is, but you can always focus on the good. So tell the people, have you focused on how impactful a positive mindset has been for you? If it's been hard to have a positive mindset, give us a little bit about positive mindset in the life of Corso.
Yeah, so when I started with VeeFriends is kind of where it all started for me, like really, like positive mindset for everything. Like I always tried to. before VeeFriends, but like when I started volunteering for VeeFriends and then when I started working for VeeFriends, it's a completely different ball game. And like I literally have a positive mindset on everything. Like now when I go to restaurants, my mom is mad because her drink isn't cold enough. Like I'm always trying to like think of like the most positive thing possible, and I feel like I'm almost like an adult, like I'm the parent in the situation sometimes, and so like I'm always trying to like in every situation possible when I'm in public with my siblings. Like I'm really trying to hammer it into my family. So I think in the nicest way, I think they need it a lot.
Yeah.
We've been through a lot of shit recently, and so like that for me is like it's honestly like one of my main focuses is like just having a positive mindset on everything. Like the past 1 year, let's say from December last year to this year, like was like the best of the best and the worst of the worst in my life. Like I lost both of my dogs within a year, within probably like 10 months of each other. And the first one was like the most traumatic thing, like ever. I could explain it if anyone wants me to. I feel like it's maybe important to share in a sense. What do you think? Like,
I mean, if you want to share it,
yeah,
it's up to you.
I'll share it briefly. So basically, he was feeling weird like one Sunday, and it was actually during I was hosting these. I would always host every Sunday in the VeeFriends Discord. We'd have a game day chat for football, for NFL, and one day I was like, I gotta go early because my dog's gotta go to the vet. He's not feeling good, And so I went to the vet with him, and then I get a text in a group chat. It's like Gary, Andy, May, and Gary's like, I want to do a Discord space. I want to do a Discord Q&A right now. I'm like, I'm at the vet. And May was like, I got it. Don't worry. But
Yeah.
anyways, we took him to the vet. He didn't want to walk into the room. He was always like that. He never wanted to go into the room.
Yeah.
They said everything was fine. It's like, cool. They gave us some medicine because they thought maybe his tummy was upset. And then we took him to another place later that night because he was acting weird again. And they didn't find anything wrong. He was fine Monday. Tuesday he was fine. Wednesday night, like he wasn't really eating as much, but Wednesday night he was outside late at night, and I was down here, and my sister. So just a quick way to explain this. Since I'm in my parents' basement, I have like a half a room down here. So I'm like the living person who lives in their parents' basement, but it's great.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what happens is whenever any of my family members, instead of just texting me, they like to just shout down. It's an Italian thing, probably. They just shout down. So I
Yeah.
heard my sister shout
100%.
down. I was like, what the fuck's going on? And so my dog just wouldn't get up. He was just sitting. And then we eventually got him to get up, and he walked inside, but then he just sat again. So like clearly there was something wrong. And then he moved places, and I came up a couple times, and then I went to bed, and around like 2 a.m., my brother comes down into my room, and he's like, hey, Messi, there's something wrong with him, and like, can you come help? I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So this is like 2 a.m. And I did wake up from it, but basically what was happening was he was just sitting there. He couldn't, like, his back legs were paralyzed. He couldn't move. He was sitting in the same spot. He was shitting himself, pissing himself, and he would maybe sleep for like 30 minutes, or probably wouldn't even sleep. And he would just sit up, and he would just start like whining, like it was like I've even woken up randomly this past year with that noise, thinking that it's him.
Wild.
And so we took him to the vet. That my brother took him, and they had to put him down. And my parents weren't home. It was just me, my brother, and one of my sisters. My other sister moved, so like dealing with that without my parents and just two of my siblings was like the most traumatic. Like I literally slept on the ground with him for hours, and then I swapped with my brothers. The saddest, craziest moment. So that was probably like the saddest moment of my life, losing him. And then I had a best friend that I had for like 5 years since like freshman year of high school. That like it was very apparent that there was a lot of fakeness in the friendship. So I cut that off like 2 months after that. And then VCon happens, the happiest moment of my life. Like the realization that I came to that, like, and then like in October, my other dog we had to put down, which was another sad moment. So like I went from really sad, another sad thing, extremely happy. NFTNYC was really happy, cool. It was really fun too. Traveling. I went to Florida. I had a great time. Then we had to put down my other. I went to Florida again, and then we had to put down my other dog. Um, so like, I went through so many ups and downs. But to go back to trying to look through the positive through everything, the my friendship with my twin brother. He's my twin brother. Like we our friendship has grown so much over the past year, and I think it started with that day where my dog passed
Yeah.
away. It was like still one of the saddest moments. Like even think about it, I'm tearing up a little bit. It's a very sad
Yeah.
moment, but um, like my friendship with my brother hasn't been as good as it is now for
Yeah.
since we were kids. Um, and so like that's a positive outlook on that. I like just positive outlook on everything is just like VeeFriends like saved me with that. Like if I didn't have that when that happened, like it would have been like completely different. So long
No,
story,
man.
but
Yeah.
positive outlook has changed my life completely. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I appreciate you sharing that. I would have been fucking bawling. I'm like ridiculously emotional. Third thing is I knew I loved you because you're Italian. I'm also Italian, so I knew that was a good thing. Um, yeah, man, I think like it's everything. It's just like what you said, like that's such fucked up experience that you had to go through and like literally just feel so much love. I'm sending so much love your way, but it's like
thank you.
the positives of your brother, right? Like that is a
I mean,
positive,
there's so many
and
more too,
of
but
course,
that's like the main one, for
yeah,
sure. Like it, like having because like I don't have like the biggest friend group, and so
yeah,
he's blood, so we're bonded together. He doesn't have a choice.
yeah,
But like I think like the importance of family like was really shown to me more. Not that I didn't care about family, like I always loved my family, but it was really shown to me more.
yeah,
That like they will always be there, and
yeah,
like I said, like I had a friend that was like we were best, like we helped each other through everything. Like losing that friendship was hard,
yeah,
as well, but like it just made me learn is like that shit happens. Who the fuck cares? Like I'm gonna find another good friend like that. I have my brother, who I've grown that friendship with again, and so like there's just so much positive in these situations, and there's like so like when it comes to positivity as well, is like you learn all these good things from these terrible moments too,
yeah,
which is just more positive. Maybe it's part of the positive outlook because like now like when I think of these bad situations, I always think of like what did I learn from this? Like
yeah,
maybe that's a weird thing to do, but that's like one of the main things I do with any bad situation now is I think of like what did I learn from this? And
yeah,
I think that's like gold to me.
100%.
Fuck a gold chain. Like those
Yeah,
those learnings are amazing, and like going back to the positivity, like just always thinking of the positive for any situation is life changing for me. So
no, I agree with you, dude, and I think like a lot of times I'm kind of the same way. Like I have very limited. I have like 2 to 3 real friends. Like I mean, maybe like a little bit more, but like really close friends, a couple. Especially now that I have a family. I mean, I basically live in this ball of positivity, and
yeah,
I can't let anything fuck that up. And so, like an example in my life is like one of my groomsmen in my wedding. I'd been friends with the kid for since we were 5, so fucking 18 years. He worked for my dad. I worked for my dad. It's a family business, and he stole like fucking $300,000+ from the business, and then
Jesus,
disappeared. And so it's like, but the best thing that happened was that while that was going on, my dad was like fixing the other parts of the business. Basically, the rest of the business was relying on me, and so it was the most stressful, intense, emotional time of my life. Like ups and downs, but we fucking came through it, and I like literally carried the business that year. And so for me, the positives was like, I know I can do anything. Like going through that was like, dude, I literally can do anything. And so I don't look at it as a negative experience. It was literally, I got so many positive benefits. Yeah, it was a fucking intense year, but the positives that come out of those types of things, like you said, are just normally fucking stronger.
Yeah, and being able to have that as like a mindset, I think is like the most powerful thing anyone can. Maybe you learn it. I feel like it's definitely something you learn, and I think that is like the most important thing I think anyone should learn is just always having a positive outlook on everything, because it makes every situation not as bad as it could be.
100%. And it takes time. Like you have to develop it. Like
Yeah,
you have to work at it, because you are constantly getting hit with negativity. Like that's just how the world works, and how life is hard, right? And so you truly have to work on it so that it could just becomes like it's just second
yeah,
nature where you're just doing it. You're just like, oh, there's no ice in my drink, whatever. At least I have a drink, right? It's like
yep,
boom, you're just like automatically positivity. And so yeah, that's what inspires me to make positivity louder every single day, man. I'm super passionate about that. Obviously, you're aware of
yeah.
that.
Who
Let's
isn't?
move into yeah. It's gonna get wild. We're gonna put it's all gas, no brakes, dude. 2023 is gonna
All
be
gas.
crazy. Um, listen, enthusiasm is my shit. I got a lot of it. We got one life. Like at the end of the day, I'm just so fucking grateful, dude. I'm so fired up every day that I get the chance to wake up. This is one of my favorite questions. What are 3 things right now in your life that you can't get enough of?
Um, One thing is VeeFriends community. I keep saying it, but like it's literally like when I see the VeeFriends community in person, like I'm the happiest I ever really am. So that's one. Two is Rocket League esports. I love Rocket League esports. It's
Let's
fucking
go. Let's
amazing.
go.
Like if anyone
Let's go.
hasn't watched it, just search up Justin JSTN 0 second goal. Just search it up. It's pinnacle. It is the Rocket League clip ever. It's the best. This is Rocket League. You'll hear it a million times in your head when you listen to the video once. That's number two. Um, Number three is amusement parks. Like any amusement park, I'm a biggest roller coaster guy. And funny thing about the legendary lemur, the GIF that was created, there was a team of amazing animators who made GIFs for VeeFriends back in the day with the Series 1 characters, and the GIF for the legendary lemur, it's on a roller coaster. It just is meant to be.
Wild.
So
Yeah,
so yeah, that's my other one.
that's fucking awesome. Oh, that's sick, dude. Wow. That is wild. That is wild. That's fucking dope. Um, what has been the biggest accomplishment of your life so far?
Biggest accomplishment of my life is probably working for VeeFriends. You know, I was like one of the first 10 employees, which is crazy to think about. In a company that will be the size of some of the biggest companies, I think. You know, a little biased, but like it's gonna be one of those that everybody knows, and I think being able to work for them and how much I've developed, because I went in as someone who just knew Discord, and so I've learned so much over the past year and a half. Year and a half. That like definitely my biggest achievement. Um, yeah, definitely.
No, I love it. I love it. I think it's gonna be fun. I think we kind of talked about this when we were hanging out in NYC at the Uno table, but it's like it's gonna be fucking crazy to look back on this, like to see what's
Oh
like
yeah,
actually built in like let's say 10 fucking years. And we're gonna just gonna be like, you remember that fucking time you were on the hype happy hour and we were talking about this shit? You remember we were playing Uno for the first time ever? And we were like, this is gonna be the fucking one of the biggest companies in the world, and then it literally will be. And then you were the
yeah,
fucking one of the first 10 employees. Like, that's wild. That is
yeah.
wild. What is your most exciting moment in Web3? Like one moment that was just like like crazy.
When the doors open, can it be an IRL experience
Yeah.
with Web3? So at VCon, when the doors open, we saw how many people were coming to the merch line. Was just like
Oh, fuck.
because I was working the merch booth both all 3 days, and the third day closed pretty early because we finished on everything. But like the first day was like we were like, all right, so we're gonna work until 9:30 or 9, and then Gary's gonna have the opening speech, and then we'll reopen at like 11 or 10. We'll reopen at this time, and then we'll close again at this time, and then reopen. That didn't happen at all. We went from when the doors opened for VCon, I think it was like 8 a.m. maybe, and we were there at like 6:30. So we were at the merch booth setting up from like, let's say 7 a.m. till, and we left the merch booth at like 5:30 p.m.
Crazy.
Of course we had breaks. Everybody was, we took turns taking breaks, but like that was the craziest like moment. Like if you were running the merch booth, like you would have been fucking shitting yourself. I was shitting myself. I was like, holy fuck.
It was pretty wild, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was in that line at like fucking 4:30 a.m. or something. I don't know. I was like 15 back or something. It was
That's
pretty
wild.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was so fucking.
It
cool,
was wild seeing people like in line that early. Like, holy fuck! Like this is a real event.
And dude, I'm colorblind, so I didn't know what color the tan sweatshirt was. And so I like literally had to snapshot it, send a photo to my wife at like, because we were in, it was I think Central Time. I think Minnesota was Central Time.
Yeah, it was.
So I had to call my wife at like 5 a.m. our time. And I was like, I woke her ass up and I'm like, listen, I need you to pick the sweatshirt that you want me to buy right now because you're fucking the one that's going to care. And she picked the tan one, which was my vote as well.
That was mine as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of funny because I like in Vegas, like, yeah, I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now, but it's like you get to wear a sweatshirt for like 2 months out of the year. And so like I have fucking 12 NFT of a fucking Invisible Friends. I got a Bobby 100. I got 2 Bobby 100 sweatshirts. I got a fucking 7. I don't even know how many VeeFriends sweatshirts. I got 47 long sleeve VeeFriends fucking shirts. It's just like I don't even need them. Like I just wear them to like I'll wear the longest sleeves to work out just because like I'm never gonna wear these, so like I'm just gonna wear them to fucking work out so I can feel something. But no, it's that was intense, dude. That merch line experience was you found out, you know what I mean? You found out some people, some fucking cutters, some line cutters, but
I wish we like there's so many things we could have done better with that. Like nobody for some reason we just didn't think like maybe we should have like lines and maybe some security. Like we didn't have any guards or anything for the like it just wasn't something that crossed our mind. Like genuinely didn't cross our mind. And I always tell people like, looking back at it, like that'll never happen again for many reasons. Like we're not doing limited stuff anymore, but like regardless.
It's not going to be limited, right? He's made that a point, even at
Gary. Gary said that. Yeah.
Yo, just like I think just sell everybody a shirt. Yo, everybody wants a fucking shirt. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
Like,
yeah,
I get it.
We
But
learned,
I mean, could you imagine 10,000 people wearing that fucking sweatshirt? Like that's sick as fuck, right? Like we're just riding.
It's cool. It's cool that it's exclusive though, because it's pretty fucking cool hoodie.
For sure,
Yeah,
100%. I could probably sell that shit for $1,000 still.
We both got one, so.
Let's go. All right, dude. So we get into dreams. This is a fun one. I'm excited how you're gonna answer this question. It's a 1-question segment. All right. And I'm gonna ask you what the dream that you have for your life is. And I'm gonna tell you my dream first, okay? To just kind of help you.
Good. Yeah.
This is actually really incredible because it's straight off your soul. And it's good. Everybody's good, dude. Okay, so listen, I'm Gentle Tornado. I'm an honest, enthusiastic, and successful man that will inspire others to live their life through happiness.
That's a dream.
Yes.
You're already living the dream, then.
I am every day. I got to.
It's awesome. My dream. So, like I said, I don't really have like an end goal in mind, but something I've always thought about, and maybe I dream about it is, so like you can see behind me, I have sports cards, Pokemon cards, VeeFriends cards, that way. And so I've always thought about like how cool it would be to like run my own card store, like sports card, Pokemon cards, like because where I live, there's not like really any. There's like one with some Pokemon, but that's it. There's no like sports cards that are, so like I've always thought about doing that, and like relatively like that could be like a 3 to 5 year window, like from now is like I guess that is like a small goal I had, is like, at least think about, like, really think about doing it, think about the logistics, how much it would cost me, how profitable it could be, and like, just like, research, and do I like, and will it really be a good thing if I do that? Like, would it would it make sense to? So that's something I've genuinely thought about, because I've always loved the hobby of sports cards, and more recently sports cards, but I always loved Pokemon. Um, so yeah, that's a dream, sure.
I like it.
We'll see.
I mean, you came up with something, so I
Yeah.
do enjoy
Because
that.
because like people have asked me, so like that was one thing I've thought about, is like, like, it's not like a long-term goal. Like, I think it would be more like maybe before I'm 30. Like, I think that would be a cool accomplishment, especially if it's successful. If it's not successful, that would kind of suck, because I'd lose money. But it would be, the experiences, and hopefully the learnings from it
Yeah.
would be worth the money. Probably
Do
not,
you
but
do you do you want to stay in Delaware? You
I don't
enjoy it?
know. I like Delaware, because it's just where I grew up. I feel most comfortable here, and where I live is like a pretty decent area, and like, I don't know, it just feels like home.
Yeah. Have you thought about
Yeah.
what about Florida?
Yeah, Florida is a place that I've thought of. But if I did this card store, like, it would have to be in Delaware, near where I live, because it's a perfect spot where there's not any competition when it comes to like sports cards. Like, because like I wouldn't have thought about it if I could go to a card store 15 minutes away and buy some NFL hobby, but you just can't do
Yeah.
that. So
I would think that it would need to be probably a balance of like online also with in
oh yeah,
person. Yeah.
like because like I watch people who do card breaks all the time. Shout out to Backyard Breaks. They're legends. I love watching, like, their energy is like matches yours. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's hard to
Let's
match your energy,
go.
and they match it every day at 9 a.m. all the
9
way.
a.m.
They start early, but yeah. So like, they do card breaks, so they break cards for people. You pay money, you get in the break, or you can just dome a box of, whatever, which means you pay them the money for it, they rip it for you on stream, and they ship it to you. And I think that could be a cool thing too. um, but like I said, starting something like that is like very ambitious, very costly. Could work, might not work, but for the love of the
I mean,
hobby.
you might be able to sell your board ape for fucking 500,000 in a few years, and then maybe you start a card shop, dude. I mean,
I wouldn't be opposed.
that's all I'm saying.
Just
Look,
tell someone, just tell the right people about Bored Apes, all right? You got the connection, Grant
listen,
Cardone.
I hope, yeah, I do hope that they go to 500,000. I don't know if they will, but like, fucking who knows? I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, honestly, dude, this is so crazy, but like I was so deep in the NFT market when all that was going on. Like I somehow didn't fucking mint Bored Apes, but when all the runs started happening, like probably like August, like September, I don't know when they started really running. I didn't even know that fucking MoonPay was like paying, like giving them celebrities fucking Bored Apes. I thought like they were buying them. I don't know why it never clicked. But when
I,
I found that out, it was just like, oh shit, it
at
fucking makes
first,
sense.
I mean, at first I thought they were just helping them buy it. Like, I thought they were giving them the celebrity was giving them the funds to help them buy it. But like, nah, that shit was crazy.
Bro, wild. Like what? Yeah, dude. I was like, oh shit. Like, so that's that. Yeah. When I heard that at like whatever months later, I was like, oh fuck. Well, I mean, that's why they had a fucking crazy run. I mean, you get Eminem, fucking Snoop. Yeah, it was just wild. It was just like
Yeah,
crazy. All
and some
right,
people
listen.
still rock
So
them.
yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah. So I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna read my favorite poem. It's called The Dash. So it says, I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth and spoke of the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all of the time they spent alive on earth. And now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash, What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard, or the things you'd like to change, for you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. To be less quick to anger and show appreciation more and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash?
You got the best freaking quotes, dude. What the hell?
Yeah,
That was
one
that was an
is,
amazing
dude.
poem.
that one really gets everybody thinking for sure on the show.
Yeah.
I remember reading it to when I read it to AJ too. Even he was just like, "Oh shit." He was like, "Fuck." I was like, "I mean, yeah, dude." Makes you think about your life for sure.
Yeah, it does. It makes you think back, like, everything. And I'm young. We're all young, but I'm
Yeah,
21,
dude, for
so it's
sure.
like I drank my first legal alcohol this year. So
Wild, bro.
yeah.
Wild. Did you go to like a bar or did you just drink it at your house?
No, I went to a bar with I have a twin brother, so we both turned 21 the same day. We went to
That's fun.
a couple bars.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I actually never went out when I turned 21 because I used to just drink all the time at my house. But
That's fair.
yeah, I just like you don't ever want to go to. I mean, I don't know. I just don't ever want to
It's
go to strip.
expensive.
Yeah, dude, it's wild.
Especially when you live in
Fucking-
Vegas. Yeah, you gotta like it's a crazy night if you go.
Yeah, I could buy a bottle of vodka fucking from Costco for $17 and I'll have that shit for a week. You know what I mean? You go to the bar, you
Yeah.
spend $150. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
we went to a few bars on a Monday night. So
Yo, that's awesome. That is awesome.
yeah, so a lot of
You know,
places were empty.
the first time I ever ordered a drink in public, it was like the week after my birthday. We were at a Mexican restaurant and they didn't even fucking card me.
They
I
didn't
was
card
like,
me either on my
I looked so
birthday.
young. I looked so young. I still look young. You look older than me right now. Like, I mean, I have kids now, so like I got the bags under my eyes, like these are permanent, so I look a little bit older, but yeah, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they didn't do it until the last place we went to.
That's wild.
Probably because they heard us celebrating our birthday, but they want to make us feel special and they want the extra little extra tip. But
All right, listen. So how we end the show is you get to leave the audience with one final comment. It can be anything you want, and then a final question for the audience.
say that again.
Okay,
final thought,
one final
and then a
statement. Yeah, final thought, and then
Okay.
a final and a question.
Final thought. Reach out to the people you love. Show them the love that you have for them. Family, friends, because not everybody's gonna be there forever. Everybody comes and goes. The ebb and flows of life. So it's cliche, but show them love, because they might need it. And then my question to everyone listening to this whole podcast and listening to the end is, what are you thankful for?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Listen, you know what's even crazier? Wait until we have hundreds of people in the Hyped Happy Hour fucking daily space. That shit is gonna get crazy, bro. I'm gonna run through like 100 people, and we're just gonna be like, "What are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? What are you grateful for?" That energy is gonna be fucking electric.
I missed that. I should have said grateful. I was trying to be more creative with my question, but like, I feel like when people ask me that question, like it makes me open up. So that's why I asked it.
No, I love it. I absolutely love it. Listen, this has been Hyped Happy Hour episode 40 with my man Corso, the absolute VeeFriend OG. He's fucking crushing it. He's only 21, absolute goated, has a twin brother, loves America, loves collecting cards. Let's fucking ride. We're absolutely out here. And he's a closet Bored Ape owner. We fucking get after it every day.
Basement.
2023. Yes, I love it. The humility is out of the fucking control. We can't stop, won't stop. Listen, Corso, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Everybody like, share, subscribe. Share this with anybody that you think can help. Let's fucking go. Peace.
Peace out.